Welcome everyone to another wonderful episode here at Jaws Podiatry. I wanted to give everyone a case update. It's been a couple of weeks. This is our good friend, the 29-year-old gentleman who presented to our office with an extremely angry left great toe as well as the foot. Again, this is a case update. The foot itself looks really good. He has not smoked in
almost a month.
Almost 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Keep up the phenomenal work. 4 weeks. You know, I was talking with the mother who's here sitting next to me, as well as the patient, that I think everything happens for a reason. You know, how this happened was that, you know, what started this was an object fell on his great toe, subsequently causing the injury, subsequently causing everything else, this, you know, what we call the snowball effect. And if it wasn't because of that, then he wouldn't have, you know, taken the liberty to come see us, which means that he would have still, you know, which in turn is what basically made him, you know, the recommendation of, you know, stop smoking. So he did stop smoking, and he went to see the, you know, my cousin, the endovascular surgeon. So there, you know, the point is that there's a reason in life why everything happens. We are still, you know, he did have the CT angiogram recently performed, which is basically the arterial mapping. And like I told everyone in the last video, there's a possibility that he may have been born with a congenital arterial defect. And we're gonna find out sooner than later if he does have this. And I'm not gonna say the name just because we're not sure. Now, if anyone is wondering, you know, what's going on here? Let me get up. That the tip of the toe is black. It's because the patient took the liberty at the beginning, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, to soak his foot in vinegar, which is an acid. And in addition to that, hydrogen peroxide. These are very caustic, and it caused a burn. So what we see right here is, yes, for all intents and purposes, it is necrotic tissue. It has not gotten worse. It's demarcated, right? Localized. So the original, then he took the liberty to try to, you know, he did, after the injury, there was a little piece of nail, and he tried cutting the piece of nail on this corner right here. And that's what basically just ignited this entire problem. As everyone can see, ponme el pie derechito ahí, hacia afuera. As everyone can see, you know, the nail bed looks really good. There is that little bit of bleeding there. We're trying to maintain everything dry. That's good news. Just to see that little amount of blood is great news. the black spot, right, may take a long time to heal. It's a burn. And, you know, depending on the type of burn, the body will react and act differently. So we have to be very patient. You know, the healing is from the inside out, so to speak. But again, swelling is down, no redness, and, you know, is he out of the woods yet? Absolutely not. But the fact that I see that, you know, this bleeding here, at least there's probably a little trickle of blood. You know, we're really pouring our heart and soul into really saving this toe. But we need to do things accordingly. He has several more exams. He has several more exams this week, and you know, he will be seeing my cousin sooner than later, and at that point we will be able to make an informed decision. I'm going to put a standby on this. We're going to go ahead and get some follow-up x-rays to make sure that, you know, we can compare those, you know, today's x-rays to the ones that we originally took, to make sure that there are no radiographic changes that may suggest possible bone infection. Stand by. You know, so we're looking here, excuse me, we're looking at the x-ray of the left foot. You know, what we're looking, you know, this is where he nicked himself, right? And what we're looking for in this area here of the bone, this is what we call the distal phalanx. There are two bones in the great toe. What we're looking for here are any radiographic signs, such as what, Dr. Wagner? Erosions, bone missing, excuse me, like someone took an eraser and erased a little bit of the bone. We don't see that. And of course there are other radiographic changes that we look for, and I don't see those either. So this is good news. I just wanted to show everyone, this is the right foot. The scenario is a spitting image of what happened 8 years ago. Same thing happened. He had something that fell on his great toe, and again, the snowball effect. Then they started piecemealing. They took a little bit, then they took a little bit more, and they eventually took the whole toe. But now he's 8 years later, we're dealing with this. So we want to obviously, you know, the mother was telling me, you know, this was back in Cuba. The mother was telling me that they were going to take the easy route, just amputate the leg, and they refused. But thank God that didn't happen, because he's 29 now, minus 8 years ago he was 21.
So I was talking to the patient before, and I told him that he definitely has, you know, fluid in the area of the burn. We're gonna go ahead and I just use, you know, in these particular cases, these are very fragile, you know, cases where you don't want to make the toe angry. So I just took a little 30 gauge needle and I poked at it. And as everyone can see here, you know, there's definitely a seroma underneath. So what I'm gonna do is very carefully take a bigger, just to drain it, we'll go ahead and culture that as well. I'm gonna, this is what we call just a very simple puncture IND. You can see also on this side, you see? But let's see what we can. No anesthesia, no need. Okay?
Pain? No, no.
No, déjame mandar eso al coche.
We'll get more. So I just want to bring you. There you go. Thank you. You know, just make a little tiny little. Just make a tiny little hole there so everything can actually drain. See if there's anything that wants to. Just being very gentle. It's not pus. It's not pus. You see? No, you don't see that white. You see how it's like bubbling from here? There's air now. So that's good. Okay. We'll go ahead and put a little swab in there, and we'll send it out to have it analyzed. I will definitely, again, keep everyone afloat on this patient's progress. But it's very common to see these seromas after burns. Adelante.
Hey.
We gotta move forward. Can't look back. Have a wonderful day, everyone.